Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in June 2019. What's going on, Aries? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys. It's been a while. Been a little bit of a while. Took a mini break. I could have recorded these earlier last week, but I decided no. So we are in June officially. Today's June 2nd. So, yeah, man, I just needed a little bit of a mini break from my usual schedule of trying to begin the monthlies at the end of the previous month. But, yeah, wasn't feeling it. But I'm feeling it today, so welcome to it. All right, guys, you know the deal. I've shuffled on camera, or excuse me, shuffled off camera to save time. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle now on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can find a timestamp in the description box if you want to jump ahead. That's totally cool. Also down there, you will see the brand new information on how to get a personal reading with me. I'm offering whoa. Almost dropped all that to the floor. That was a lot. I'm offering 3 different types of readings, a mini, a regular, and I believe I'm calling it, I forget what I'm calling the third one. I haven't posted it up yet, but there's 3 different types, yeah, at 3 different price points. So you pick the one that you want, you email me, you let me know which one you want, you PayPal me the payment, and then I send you the video within 24 to 72 hours. And that's it. That's how it works. Very simple. But if it's not clear to you, if you want to ask me a clarifying question, feel free to email me as well. I don't know where that accent came from, but you can feel free to email me your questions ahead of ordering. That's totally okay. I totally understand. I'm willing to work with everybody, okay? Anything else? Oh, shout out, ba-boom, to my good client, my wonderful client, Vanessa. She made me this lovely bracelet. I am here for it. I really love this thing. So I've been wearing it ever since I got it. So thank you very much, Vanessa, for your gift. And just your trust and your, I don't know, I feel like, not revealing too much. I feel that Vanessa and I have a similar track in life, and I really am enjoying our exchanges. So thanks to Vanessa for the gift, and of course your patronage. I appreciate all of that, okay? All right, guys, lots of rambling, but, you know, I have announced that June was going to be a different month, so a little bit more to explain with the intro there, but here we go. All right, so let's get the outcome and overall energy for Aries in June. How about that? Let's get to the nooks and crannies of this thing, okay? Outcome and overall energy for Aries in June 2019, please. Please show me. There it is. Bottom of the deck is the overall. Out of the way, Crystal. Yeah, and I cut my nails, and they didn't grow back as much as I wanted them to before this. So anyway, flipping cards will be fun today. Let's flip everything, see what's going on in the entire spread here. Oh boy. And of course, you're the first sign I'm doing, and you guys got a triplet, so lucky you, maybe? We'll see. And I feel like last year it started in June, the triplet, so I wonder if like that trend will continue this year. That'll be interesting. Anyway, please show me where Aries is in June 2019. Please show me Aries in June 2019. Please show me. Yes, okay, wow. Ooh, strongly, wow. Here, you're here. Coming into June, Aries, you come in with the King of Cups in reverse. I will show you this card upright so you can become used to it. It's the first time using this deck on camera in any video. I usually use these in like live privates. That sounds weird. I usually use them in face-to-face. There we go. Readings. Anyway, King of Cups, but it came reverse. All right, so guys, you're like deep in the feels, huh? You're like so in the feels, perhaps consumed with your feelings, consumed with your emotions, and honestly being really confused about what the hell you're feeling. You know, Are you happy with this job? Are you happy with this relationship? Are you just going with emotions? Are you just here for the sex? Are you just here for the money? Is it, you know, some of you might have some moral obligations or objections, excuse me, some moral objections to what you're doing in work or in a relationship, or there might be some entanglement in your family that, you know, you love your father, or, you know, you have love for your brother or sister, but the way you guys are communicating is like super contentious, it's very volatile, and so it's just like a layering, or this, as you can see, again, I'll show you upright so you can kind of get a better look at it, how submerged that King of Cups is in his emotions. It's doubled down because you're in this reverse position, and you can't really make heads or tails of it. You know, when you're in the upright position with the King of Cups, he's able to really make sense of what he feels. He might not articulate it, he might not speak about it regularly, but he is able to understand it. And in this reverse position, you're just having a little bit of trouble connecting the dots, or you're having trouble seeing, you know, the forest for the trees. You know what I mean? It's so you might feel like enclosed or encircled and feel really bogged down and oppressed by everything that you're feeling. Like it's all too much, overwhelmed, all that good stuff. Although, of course, it's not good stuff, right? So, quite a struggle, you know, emotionally, very much emotionally. I think in terms of, you know, if it is about your job, you're still able to go and perform that job. You're still able to go and get everything done that you need to get done. But you might have qualms about the people that you work with, or like I said, some moral obligations. Objection. Or maybe that's it. Like I've said that twice now, obligation. So maybe you feel, maybe some of you like work in a family business. So I feel obligated to do this. You know, my family has run this business for the past 50 years and I want to go off and, you know, become a mountain climber, or I want to go and become, you know, a digital artist, whatever. But, you know, I have to run the family owned business. Maybe it's like a clothing shop, or maybe you're a distributor, like a local distributor. And so it's like a very by the book job, which for someone might conflict with your more natural artistic inclinations, but you feel obligated to be at your family's business. I hope that makes sense. So whatever your situation is, constricted, emotionally constricted, you know, which is I think it's a little harder to grasp than like a mental constriction. I hope that makes sense, because I think when you're mentally constricted or mentally held back, I think it's a lot, sometimes I think it's a lot easier to make sense of it. It's like, I'm overthinking this, and like you understand that you're overthinking this. It's harder to grapple with, especially for you, Aries, to be overly emotional or overly led by your emotions, especially emotions that you can't make sense of, that you're not able to really trace back to a certain root point, and you're, you know, easily able to identify, what is this thing I'm feeling? Like, so for example, not even for example, to just throw a name at it, or throw a word at it, melancholy. A lot of you might feel melancholy, which, you know, I'm not trying to undermine you here, but a lot of you might not even have a full concept of what melancholy is. That's not to insult your intelligence. It's more of like for most in this group, I feel that you approach your emotions, or the way that your emotions usually come out is, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm elated, I'm anxious. You're able to put those labels on it. Melancholy is a blended emotion, which troubles you. You don't like that. It's like, again, I love this person, but I also hate this person. Like, it doesn't have to be that extreme. But you see what I mean? Like, and to some of you, like, that doesn't compute. How can I love them and hate them at the same time? It's possible. That's the thing. You know, so this intermingling of emotions is off-putting. Okay? So that's where you start. Now what else is going on? Okay. So duty, absolutely. So right next door, you have the King of Hazards. In this deck, hazards are pentacles, so King of Pentacles, aka. So this King of Hazards is very by the book, yeah? He's very much, you know, weight and measures, you know, very methodical, very practical, not really adventurous, not really willing to take a risk or an uninformed risk, right? If this guy's going to take a risk, it's because he's really thought it out. And at that point, is it really a risk? Not really, because he's prepared. So there's this preparedness, and that could be a conflict. This could be, I feel a conflict between these two kings, number one. So this could be something internal for you, Aries. You have this very logical, by the book side of you, and this very whimsical, lost babe in the woods feeling, not knowing what's up or down, not having your feet on the ground. King of Hazards, King of Pentacles has his feet on the ground. King of Cups in reverse, doesn't even know if he has feet. Can't even be sure where his head is. It's this very disoriented feeling. So I feel what this means, if this is internal for you, for others it will be an external person or an external energy. But for those where this is internal, you basically are like, perhaps it's fitting that I picked this damn deck, the zombie deck. You are the Walking Dead. You are a zombie in your own life. The whole lore of zombies is they are animated, they move, they have some penchant for flesh or brains, they have a desire and intention, but they're in their mind, in their physical body, they're dead. So some of you have that disconnect or that strange feeling of going through the motions, showing up to work every day, going to your kid's baseball practice or whatever, going and ordering pizza for lunch for the whole entire office. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, but somewhere inside, you're dead. You're disconnected. You're shut off from something. Or you're so overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, so you shut down. Does that make sense? For those where this is external, I'm getting a fatherly figure with this King of Hazards. So again, for those who are in a family business situation, this could be your father or someone who is the head of the household or the head of the business. Does not have to be a male, but it's a very dominant feeling. This is normally with the King of Hazards or the King of Pentacles, I don't feel like he's overly masculine and overly dominant, but I feel it today. This person has an iron fist and they wield that shit. They throw it around when they need to. Not in a tyrannical way. So this is not no. This is not some super hard ass person, but they mean business. They're not to be trifled with, okay? And the relationship with this person, I don't necessarily feel is contentious, but there is tension because you are showing signs that you don't want to go with their program. You don't want to follow their protocol, their outline, their idea. You're just breaking away from their very rigorous, measured, predictable plan or ways of running a business or ways of running a family or ways of behaving in public or ways of behaving and interacting in a relationship, romantic relationship, fraternal relationship, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, and I'm finally looking at the card. Makes sense. Tied and bound to that chair. I said something earlier about feet. So even though the ankles are not attached, there's no, if you can look in the shoes, there's no feet in there, but there's still this firmness with the shoes being firmly on the ground. In a very neat, it's very neat, right? No, the shoe is not 30 degrees to the left or right. It's not on its side. It's firm and predictable. This person has a lot of ideas about your life, Aries, or how you interact with them. And there are rules and regulations to that relationship. There are rules and regulations to how this business needs to be run or what the future of this business will be. The future of this relationship, the future of this partnership, maybe in business, or excuse me, maybe in an office. So this could be a project lead that you work under who isn't as diplomatic as you would like, is not open to your creative ideas, is not open to different ways of how to research a problem or find a solution to a problem. Does that make sense? This person has wonderful intentions, But for your liking, Aries is too tight-fisted, is too domineering, is too in control. And again, that could be internal. That could be you. And on the inside, you're just like wanting to be more fun and fancy free, but you're sort of tied and bound to some decorum, some type of expectation in your role. Okay? Interesting. What's going on up top? Because we're not going over there. Thank you. So legal stuff, obviously. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Come on. There we go. So right above that King of Hazards, you have the Justice card, major arcana card for Libra. So you might have a Libra in your life who is of significance, but you don't have to. I mean, it's like with the artwork, it's very heavy-handed in like the law aspect and the idea of justice within a legal system. Okay, so some of you might work for a law firm, or some of you have legal background. Some of you might be dealing with lawyers in terms of dissolving a company or dissolving a business or getting a business started. In others of your cases, you might be dealing with the legal system in terms of marriages and divorces. It can go either way. The idea of bringing something together, business and relationships or otherwise, or dismantling them and dissolving them. Okay. So, but the feeling is, of course, I shouldn't even say of course, but the feeling is it's not going to be the same. Whatever decision is pending, whatever change or passing of the baton, passing of the torch, whatever monumental jump off point you're approaching or you have experienced previously, some of you are on different timelines here, it's just not going to be the same. And I feel some of you are prepared for this. Some of you realize, you know what, I can't continue this way. Aries, you're speaking of yourself here. I can't continue my life this way. I can't live like that. I can't continue down this road. It's not fulfilling me now. Therefore, how could it fulfill me in the future? I have to break away. I have to get away. Or, I've been so fragmented. I've been so non-committed to something. This is for a smaller portion of you, Aries. Very small. You have been so adrift, that you want some stability. You want some union. You want something to come together, business, relationship, whatever. Whatever that turning point is, whenever it is, whoever's involved, the key point here is the idea of righteousness. Wow, righteousness? Okay, that's a heavier word than I would have used, but okay, righteousness, sure. And retribution, thank you. There is this heavy feeling, possibly from the other person or other people besides you, Aries, of what is right here? What needs to be set right here? Or what is, like I said, righteous? What is morally, here's that word again, morally correct, okay? So, and I did say moral obligation, but I also said moral objection. So in terms of business, are you aware of, or are you involved in, or someone in your family or close circle, are they involved in something that isn't legal? Justice is here for a reason. Something is not above board, morally and legally. You're doing it or someone else is doing it. That's the bottom line. It's a general reading. It's going to go either way, yeah? But whoever isn't above board is going to get the comeuppance. Or you want the comeuppance for them, or they want it for themselves, or someone says that is not right. What you said, what you did, what you are saying, what you are doing, it's not right. Someone is wanting, like I said, retribution in the form of punishment, in the form of fees, in the form of jail time, in the form of maybe just a good old-fashioned ass kicking out in the streets, whatever. There is a desire from someone's side of that person there, or I myself deserve punishment. Aries, I don't know many of you who would say, I deserve punishment. That might be too much, but you might say, I deserve what's coming to me, or I deserve, I deserve to lose something. Not everything, because no Aries would ever say, I deserve to, Aries is not a self-deprecating sign. You're not a whip, you don't whip yourself with guilt. You just don't. Even when you know you're guilty, and this is going to hit for some of y'all, even if you know you're guilty, even if you know you did the worst thing possible that you could have done in the situation or towards a specific person, you'll never say, I deserve, the kitchen sink of punishment. You'll never say that. I deserve the kitchen soap dish of punishment, the dish rack of punishment, but not the kitchen sink. Hell no. You would never say that. So I don't know why I have to say that. Maybe for a cross-watcher who's, dealing with an Aries and is like, oh, Aries should know that they've done wrong. And that the Aries will never say, I've done so wrong, you should just throw the book at me. It's just not usually the case with Aries. I'm going to say like a high percentage of the time, and Aries will not fall on the sword. Absolutely not. Self-preservation is the name of the game with a lot of Aries. But again, justice, things being, wrongs being set right, finding a balance between good and bad, that's very important with this justice card. And as I look more, we've got this head and heart, but literal brain and heart, in the depiction here. And as you can see, the head is heavier, is weighing heavier than the heart. So a lot of you, going back to your King of Cups reverse starting position, a lot of you either are or have been or might consider what's more logical here, what makes more practical, objective sense. Perhaps influenced by the King of Hazards, I don't know. But, and in terms of like a love relationship or a romantic relationship or whatever you're doing, a lot of you might be erring on the side of your logic, on the side of your brain, on your mind, and kind of putting your heart to the back burner. Whether or not that's a good or bad thing, I don't know. But that just might be your tendency right now to offset this overwhelming, drowned feeling of being in your emotions 24/7. And Aries would do that. I'm so sick of myself. I'm so sick of my heart being so overwhelmed and my emotions being just like all over the place. Fuck it. I'm going to do what I need to do logically. And you'll shut that part of yourself off. You'll shut that emotional stuff out and err on the side of your logic because you want to be alleviated from that emotional overwhelmed or overwhelmed feeling. Okay? Finishing off your little 4 spread here, you've got the Death card, Major Arcana card for Scorpio. So some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio. You might not. It doesn't really matter. It's a general reading. But here's that change and transformation, yeah? After the justice is served, after, papers in the court are filed, after decisions are made, after the ink has dried, after, whoever gets their ass kicked in the streets. I don't condone violence. Let me just tell you that. I'm not out here giving you the pass. Hell no. I don't give anybody the pass on physical violence. But I feel for someone, maybe just one of you, that is a reality. Like, that's the world you live in, where things just get settled out in the streets. So after that happens, whether it's the fight in the streets, the fight in the courtroom, the fight in the boardroom, whatever, we get this death. Not literal death, okay? Not moral or mortal death, no. But we do get this ultimate change and transformation, which was kind of hinted at and kind of, ignited here in the Justice card. It then grows and develops, and over time, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, who knows, we finally get something that is completely done. We are able to draw a line under it. We are able to turn the page, start a new chapter, etc., etc. And it's dramatic, this change. It's like night and day. Kind of you can see that hinted at there in the card, but more in the sense of life and death. Night and day, light and death, or light and death. Night and day, life and death, black and white, up and down. Just the polarities are here, yeah? You've got on one side of the card this human body, you've got suburbia in the background, and then the other side of the body is that zombie body and a graveyard. So totally different worlds. So some of you are starting anew, is what I'm getting with that. Like brand new, maybe in some cases like an identity. I don't know why you would do that. But some people do that. Like they go through major transformation, which equals major reinvention of themselves. Cut your hair, dye your hair, get a whole new wardrobe, move out of state, move to a different country, get a whole different job. I divorced my husband and I also divorced my kids. Like, some people do that really drastic, major flip of the switch where I'm not just a divorcee, I also pretend like I don't have children. And not, again, that's not a condoning thing. I'm just stating the reality of what people go through, what people choose to do with their lives. Some people get up, you know, many of us have heard that joke of, you know, one day my dad got up, went to the store to get milk and cigarettes, and he never came back. That is a reality. That shit is not a joke because someone just thought it up. No, someone actually experienced that. My dad went to the store to get stuff, and he never came home. That is a reality for somebody. Not necessarily here, but that whole, I am no longer that person. I am no longer in that role, in that capacity. No. And it's a total go to a different place. Nobody knows who I am. I don't know anybody in this town. Nobody knows my history. And that really refreshes things for people. That really gives people a new sense of freedom that they've never had before and opens up a world of possibilities. Now, the flip side, of course, is the people back home. Many are confused. Many are in pain. Many are in tears. Some people are elated that this person skipped town. But there's this, I don't know why I'm going on and on about this particular storyline, because I don't think that's happening for most of you, but like the impact I think is important. Imagine you yourself or someone in your family just ups and leaves one day. You have confirmation that they're not dead, they're just gone. You don't know where they went, but they're just gone. How would that affect you? How would you affect people if you did that to them? You know what I mean? Like, the impact is what I'm really touching on here with the death card. The impact of the change is going to be so drastic. It's going to leave people with their heads spinning, okay? Oh, whether it's a good or bad thing, I don't know. That's up for you to decide. That's up for you, how it plays out in your life. Let me know in the comments. But I kind of feel like it has to be this way, because to a certain extent, Aries, you require independence. You require to not live your life bound to certain expectations and restrictions. You're much better at being the rule maker than the rule follower. And so some of you are having real struggle with following the rules and regulations of somebody else's expectations or the expectations of the situation. And you're just like, nah, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. So there's a rejection here, in a sense, a rejection of some prescribed lifestyle or prescribed role or position that you no longer want to be a part of, okay? Or someone around you. If you're like, I love rules, I eat them for breakfast, fine. Then it's someone else around you who's just like, I don't know about this rule life. I'm not here for that, okay? Now, your triplet. If you're new here, I normally do 6-card spreads. Today, Aries has a 7-card spread, and it comes usually in this nice little triangular shape, which I call the triplet. It's usually a separate storyline that it either supports or clarifies what's going on here in the 4-card spread. So let's see what's going on. Wow, okay. So we got some damage control, maybe? Thank you. Okay. So 8 of Wands in the base of the triplet. This 8 of Wands, traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck, it's like that card that shows the 8 wands flying through the sky. It's like really abstract. Here we have like something a little bit more populated, but just as busy or just as intense and fiery, okay? So motion obviously is here. We've got the one zombie on roller skates essentially chasing the human. You could be chasing someone, Aries, or someone's chasing you and you don't want to be chased, okay? For some of you, this is like this back and forth connection with another person, or back and forth again with your emotions, or again with your, in terms of wands, communication and your physical movement sometimes. So you might be going back and forth between your house and someone else's house, or your place of business and someone else's business, and there's just like a lot of busyness between you and someone else, or you and another entity. Again, like in business, that could just be email sent back and forth between your company and someone else. Or going back here, maybe your business and your lawyer, something like that. And what they want me to talk about is, and we're going to talk about it a lot because this deck infers it, is like this haunted feeling, or this feeling of being chased and pursued, and not wanting to be chased and pursued, because if you're caught, you turn into a zombie, you know? So something here, again, going back to this legal shit that someone's dealing with, and the idea of something being illegal or immoral, some of y'all or someone around you don't want to get caught in what has been illegal or immoral. And that makes sense. Nobody does anything illegal and says, I can't wait till I'm caught. I can't wait till the cops come and burst in my door and take me downtown and book me. I just can't wait. No. If you commit a crime, if you do something that you know is shady, you don't want to get caught. So some of you are dealing with that energy. You've done a bad thing. You don't want to get caught. Boom. Or something bad has happened to you and you want to catch the person who has done that bad thing to you. Whatever. And so that chasing, that pursuing is very anxiety ridden for you, for them, for everybody involved. It's just like, oh my God, it's like high tension. It really is like a episode of like SVU or CSI or some shit like that. And it's just like, ooh, is he going to get away with it? Is he not going to get away with it? It's like that. It's that 50-50 call, that coin toss. Am I going to get away with this thing? Am I going to walk away scot-free here? Am I going to get caught? Am I going to be held accountable? Am I going to jail? Am I going to pay a fee? Am I going to be, disbarred? Something like that. That's interesting. Somebody out there is a lawyer. And that is on the table, being disbarred. Ooh. Well, regardless, though, of what you're dealing with, the back and forth, the tussling, it's overwhelming and it's tiring. And it's bringing out the best in you and also the worst in you, or maybe in everybody around you, in the situation as a whole. There are like, I feel both sides feel righteous or correct, or that they're doing the right thing, that they're on the better side of history, the better side of the argument. And it's not decided here in this reading, number one. That's why as a reader, it would be hard to moralize sometimes, because we're talking about different people's perspectives, yeah? Different people's MOs, different people's, intentions. And so both sides, I've talked a lot about, just a second ago, well, if you committed a crime, you've done wrong and you don't want to get caught. Yeah. And so you feel correct in what you've done to an extent. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Even if it is from a place of, I needed to do this in order, I had to break this law, or I had to fudge these documents because we were in debt. And if I didn't do that, we would have lost the house. Someone feels correct in doing that. If I didn't break this law, if I didn't fudge that, we would have lost the house. We would have lost the business. We would have lost this. So, the lesser of two evils. That's not just a cliched phrase. Think about it. The lesser of two evils. Both options were fucked up, were not beneficial. We're going to end up in people getting hurt. So instead of choosing that really awful one, I took awful light. I took awful 50% less calories. Like, I'm really conflating my analogies here, but I hope you get what I'm saying. 50% less calories. There's still calories in it, and it's still full of junk. It's much worse. It's not like you're choosing to eat an apple. You're choosing to eat this crappy processed food, but it's less calories, or it's no, it's not as beneficial to you as fresh food would be. You're choosing to fudge documents. You're choosing to lie about something in court documents, or you're choosing to steal from what you believe is a source that can afford to be stolen from, to be taken from. You still stole. Does that make sense? So, I don't know why I have to say this. Some of you Aries are doing this, I guess. So I have to tell you. It's not a moralization. I'm not judging you, but it is this, it's coming from this space of someone feels, I know I did wrong, but I could have done worse. So let's all calm down here, is kind of what I'm feeling. Here we go. And that would make sense. Because I'm like, you know, I'm looking out here and then they're like, now look down. Boom, Page of Cups right next to it. So here is that rationale that I just explained to you. Page of Cups. Well, I thought I was doing a good thing because it was not going to be as hurtful. It still breaks the law. It's still immoral. You still lied. You still misled someone. Whatever the reasoning is. Your reason, their reason, whoever is the culprit, quote unquote, the culprit, okay? They believe they've done it out of the kindness of their heart, out of trying to fix a situation, and I believe them. Here's the thing, and this is why I've always been told, oh, you should have gone into law, Jay. You would have been really good. Nah, man. I get too emotional. I'd be kicked out of court. I'd be in contempt so much. But I'm honestly trying to be objective here because I see this person's point of view. Like, I feel it. It's like, well, I'm trying to do a good thing here. I'm trying to be a good person. But according to the law, according to most people's moral compasses, you're still choosing evil, bad, not so great options, even if they're the lesser version. 50% less calories. There's still a high amount of calories, or there's still garbage calories or garbage content in that processed piece of food that you got out of the aisle instead of going to chomp down on a carrot. So, you know, and it could be something like that. You're going to your doctor's office, your doctor's like, hey, tell me what you've been eating lately. And you're like, well, I've been eating the thin Oreos. Okay, it's still a goddamn Oreo. I don't care if it's like, you know, a paper thin line of artificial sugar cream in the middle of those two little cookies. It's still a freaking Oreo, Barbara. No, don't eat the thin Oreos. Eat carrots. You want something sweet? Have a banana. You know, but this person is sitting in their doctor's office. Well, I'm having Diet Coke, Coke Zero. Bitch, it's still Coke. I don't know why I had to say it that way. I apologize. I don't mean to insult anybody, but it's like literally, you realize it's still bad for you. So why are you trying to make it like it's actually fine? No, it's still bad. Still bad. You know it's bad. No. Ace of Wands. Oh my God, my nails. There we go. Ace of Wands right above it. Ay, Dios mío. So, I think this is sort of like either this whole contentious back and forth, you know, shady dealings, you know, committing crimes or doing things that aren't so above board and then rationalizing them. That could have been or will be the inception point of this new or this fall. Like this feels like a long fallout over here with the 4 cards, or some type of overdue fallout. Like something has needed to be shifted, to be changed, to be altered, to be finished, but it has come very slowly. And getting perhaps caught in a lot of misdirection or caught in bad deeds could be the seed point, the start point, the jump off point of everything here, is kind of what this Ace of Wands is feeling like for some of you. Others of you, this Ace of Wands, is like a new start, like a strangely, and I don't necessarily see it here, but they're kind of making me think of this Ace of Wands as like an olive branch. So in the case of not doing like some high crime, you know, huge federal crime or something like that, or even a misdemeanor that could land you in jail for a couple of years. Let's just say a misstep within a small understanding of friends or family, something like that. You lied about something when you didn't need to, or you lied by omission, something like that. When that misdeed comes to light, there's a chance. And the Ace of Wands is not usually an apology. And I don't think, whoever this Page of Cups is, you or someone else, I don't think you want to come with an apology anyway. I think there is this idea of I know what I now see that I could have gone the other way, or I could have been more honest, or I could have invited someone in to help me instead of trying to do this my way, da 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 da. Can we start over? That's more what I'm seeing here than an apology, quote unquote, an apology. Like they're like, olive branch. I'm like, not really. Because the Ace of Wands is very fiery. It's very intent. It's very boss energy. It's very ownership. I own whatever I'm about to embark on, whatever I'm about to invite into my life or create for myself. Yeah. And so there's not a lot of apologetic, compromising, open energy there. It's very contained within the self, or very contained in like one stream. I don't know, not of consciousness. One, it's like a tight funnel. It's like funneled energy. Okay. And so, and think of it that way. Like you funnel this energy, all the misdeeds and the misinformation, other people's opinions, your own doubt, your own guilt, your own elation at getting away with it for like 5 minutes or whatever it is. And all that funnels into this new opportunity to start over. Not as an amends. And it could be that. It could be something like, I know I messed this up. I know I broke your trust. I know it's going to be hard for you to look at me the same way, but I need, maybe that's it. Instead of an apology someone is asking for or offering or in need of forgiveness. Maybe that's the olive branch, and not an apology, but forgiveness. Okay, here we go. You or someone else, redemption, retribution, like we mentioned back here with the Justice card. So somebody wants the chance to prove themselves again after making a real foul up of a situation. Like they really mucked this up. Is it you, Aries? Maybe. Is it someone else? Maybe. It's a general reading. It will go either way. But whoever mucked it up, they want to try again. Now, the question is, can we rely on that? Can we trust that? You know, what have we learned from the history of dealing with this person in these conditions, in this situation? That's for you to decide. Your life is different. And it's going to be 50-50, right? Some people, you are dealing with someone who made an honest mistake, or you yourself, you made an honest mistake, or your judgment was so clouded and you made a huge mistake, but you realize, you know, I shouldn't have done it that way. I should go the other way. Someone else, they're just given lip service, and they might not need to, or they might not deserve your trust or forgiveness. It will go either way. The Page of Cups is a naive, not naive, and this might sound even more insulting than naive, but like an underdeveloped energy. What do I mean when I say underdeveloped? We in the minor arcana, in the court cards, you have Page, Knight, Queen, King. This is the lowest on the rung of that hierarchy. Underdeveloped, new to the game, fresh, or immature. Might have, you know, this could be a 50-year-old person, a 60-year-old person, but has not learned the lesson, either through hard-headedness or lack of experience or complete ignorance and arrogance. Whatever the reason, this person remains underdeveloped in some capacity. Can you trust them? Should you invite them back into your lives, or should you be allowed back into somebody else's life? I don't know. I don't know. And look at that. Look at the damn outcome. Here we go. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. The Moon. Major Arcana card for Pisces. So there might be a Pisces of significance in your life, but it does not have to be. The Moon. As you can kind of see by the artwork here, what the hell is going on in this card? The Moon often talks about dreamscapes. You know, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, so that's the underworld. That's the dreamscape world. So a lot of things come out metaphorically. A lot of things come out in symbols, symbolic messages. And it's really hard in your waking hours to make heads or tails of whatever is going on from this subconscious space. So that all translates into, as your outcome for this whole thing, it's very clouded. It's very cloudy, yeah? Even if you get a judgment in a court system, even if you get ultimate change, you know, that whole get up and go, dad went out for milk and cigarettes, he's not coming back. That's finite. You know, the judge says 5 years in jail. The judge says $8,000 in fees or whatever. That's all finite energy or decisions or outcomes. But how we move forward, How we rebound from that, what we do, you know, now that daddy's not coming home, it's been 3 weeks, we have word that he's alive, but he's not coming back. What do we do going forward? Don't effing know, friends, okay? And that's speaking more to how you're feeling or how many people, like I'm feeling like many of you are dealing with family, business, lovers, everything like that. So this is not, even though this is your reading, there's a lot of people to consider here, okay? And the overall temperature between all parties involved is, what? I don't know. Or especially from an emotional standpoint, I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to think. Some of you, you're saying goodbye to people, going to jail, skip town, you know, dissolving of a marriage, dissolving of a business relationship. And it's totally not what you've experienced for the past 15, 18, 5 years of your life, whatever. That person, that business, that interaction was a constant. And now that it's not there, almost pull the rug right from underneath your feet. Ugh, what do I do here? How do I move forward? What is happening next? IDK, okay? Anything else? Me talking about, mentioning when I first picked up the card and then looking down here again at the imagery with the bed there, talking about dreams. So some of you might need to work on that. For those who are more in the esoteric space of your life or the spiritual space of your life, there might be messages coming through to you in your dreams. There is this idea of getting in touch with your subconscious, and also be wary of that. Don't go too deep and rely solely on your dreams, because not every night you're going to dream about what is pertinent in your life. Some dreams are just going to be, you know, your brain decompressing all the bullshit that you deal with in your life, and has nothing. There aren't necessarily hugely significant messages in every single dream that you have. So caution there. Don't go too deep into relying on your spiritual work, your metaphysical work, okay? Overall energy, that makes sense. Hello. For your reading today is the 10 of Hazards, aka 10 of Pentacles. So guys, what did I just say? Or not what did I just say, but what have we been talking about, especially back here between the kings? This dynamic of family ties for many of you. This is a family situation. 10 of Hazards talks about that. Longevity of a family, history of a family, the traditions or the generational impact and continuance of a family. Legacy, there's the word I was looking for. Legacy, yeah? Now, that can mean in terms of continuing a family. Maybe this has been about custody in some cases. Custody, and we do have one kid in particular, okay? So that could be something here about kids and the court systems and who's going to be responsible for a child. Maybe the parents have skipped town and now it's down to grandma and grandpa to step up, or auntie and uncle to step up, or, you know, brother or uncle. I said that. or yeah, in some cases like older brother, older sister to come in and take care of their kid or their kid sibling that has been abandoned because their parents are total pieces of crap. Something like that. That could be here. Who's in charge now of the child, or who's in charge of the family? Who now leads the family? Like maybe some of y'all are having like, what was that guy? Bernie Madoff? I don't know why I'm drawn to that. Isn't that his name? The guy who like was the embezzler, or like he pulled off this huge financial heist essentially, or what did he do? He lied, right? He embezzled? Yes, an embezzler. And he's in jail now. And he was like the head of a household, the head of an empire, head of a company, or something like that. He was very prominent. And now that he's away in jail, who's in charge over there in the Madoff household? I don't effing know. That's just what they threw into my mind. And they actually threw into my mind the image of Robert De Niro playing Bernie Madoff. I don't even know what the real Bernie Madoff looks like. Anyway, so that might be the actual case for some of you. The head of the household has been put behind bars, or is somehow indisposed, okay? Who steps up now? Who goes to the head of the table to carve that turkey? That's a big consideration going on in your life right now, okay? In other cases, the 10 of Hazards, aka again 10 of Pentacles, is going to talk about money. Some of you have secured money, investments, you know, savings. There's this idea of a huge amount of money. Huge is relative, of course. Huge to someone could be $10,000. Huge to somebody else is like $10 billion. It's very relative. But there's this idea of huge amount of money being fought over. It's indetermined as of yet, or it's about to be determined, or someone is seeking a determination, thank you, on who gets this money. Okay, that's another part of this. For you, Aries, I don't know where you're falling in there. It could be your money that's being decided on. You could be a beneficiary and someone is contesting that Aries should be awarded this money or be left in legal control over these assets. There is some contention over money, and I don't know where you fall in that fight, but damn, it's intense. Again, legal system. We've got this very staunch king of hazards here. You're emotionally underwater. It's crazy. And again, something about a kid or a dependent or someone who, you know, acted in a way that they thought was good, but actually, you know, proved not to be good. Like, that could be it. Like, someone may have done something, or you did something that shot yourself in the foot. You know, maybe that's it. Like, maybe you have a business partner, and because you guys are legally viewed as one entity or as one, you know, it could be something like that. Like, you're being held accountable because of someone else's actions, because you are legally viewed as one entity or as one discrepant, I can't say that word. I hope you get what I'm saying. Like, your business partner, your brother, your sister, you know, they did this and now it violates the policy. So now you're both screwed out of this money. Something like that. Okay? Wow. What a reading, my friends. Wow. Aries, that is your reading for June. If you have liked it, if it has resonated with you, hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. You know I love to read those. They don't come in often, but I do like to read them. You can also share this video across your social media platforms with other people on YouTube, whatever. And the biggest one of all, subscribe, guys. I've seen an amazing amount of growth over the past couple of months. I've enjoyed that because it's a long time coming. So if you want to help a girl keep growing, if you want to keep my videos in circulation on YouTube, and you want to keep seeing me, you know, in your notifications, you don't want me to get lost in the shuffle, make sure you subscribe, okay? Aries, I'm going to be back in a few weeks' time. I'm going to do the mid-Junes. I like the mids. They sometimes come and support what we talked about in the main reading. Other times they're a brand new storyline. So I'm really enjoying doing those for you guys. So you can look forward to that in a few weeks. And anything else. Again, I'm still waiting to be hit with that random energy. Like, I feel it's coming, but it just hasn't hit me yet. And that's the only way that I want to do the random. So at some point that will happen. And if you're subscribed, you'll see the notification, okay? All right, Aries, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.